Ayuk potentially getting traded soon. Kittle could get extended soon. But the big move this offseason that the Niners have to decide what to do or pull the trigger for is the Brock Purdy extension. I think they're clearly going to offer him a multi-year extension in the next few weeks. But I think they're going to offer him what they think is fair. And what they think is fair and what he thinks is fair could be way different. What do you think is too much for Brock?
I mean, one thing too, right? They're under financial constraints is John Lynch's words. So like that leads me to believe, I mean, and also he's volunteering this information. Is that part of the contract negotiation with Brock Purdy? That right?
Hey, it's not our fault. It's not my fault.
This is the situation we're under. Sorry, kid. But here's life-changing money.
This year isn't last year. Things change.
Yeah. So here's life-changing money. Take it or leave it. I think there was a report that came out that he's going to be around $49 million per season. I don't know who reported it, but that's what it was. And to me, that feels like the ceiling, in my opinion. $49 million. If you're not okay with $49 million, Brock Purdy, play out your contract. That's where I would draw the line. I mean, honestly, that's pretty high still for me. I'd rather be around 40, but I know the 49ers more realistically are probably going to go into that 49 million range. But anything over that, I'm not really comfortable with, and I think it would be too much. And I think they should use this new financial constraints to leverage their negotiations with Brock and say, look, this is the best we can do, buddy. Take it or leave it.
It's interesting. I'm not even sure they'll offer him that. And I see where your head's at, and I agree with you. But like, I think the Niners might be even more cutthroat this offseason. This is a new regime. This is a whole new approach to business. And $49 million sounds like a bargain in a sense, but it's still more than Patrick Mahomes makes. It's still more than Josh Allen makes. And this guy doesn't have a lot of leverage because he's coming off a down year. And you can make whatever excuses, but he couldn't exactly put the team on his back and overcome. So if they were to say, look, man, we're going to offer you $45 million a year. And I know it feels like a slap in the face, but we're not ready to pay you more than the Chiefs pay Mahomes. And if you think you deserve more than the Chiefs pay Mahomes, then we have a problem. So the Niners may actually lowball Brock, and maybe that's not even lowballing him. I mean, it could be Brock could go in there expecting to get $60 million a year because so-and-so said he was worth that, or Dak Prescott got it. But the Niners could be way below that.
And think about it from Brock's perspective. It's hard. Like, you made like $1 million a year roughly for the last 3 years. So you made $3 million. Now you have an opportunity to make $49 million per year. And you're going to say no because you want 60. I find that hard to believe.
I don't think he would say no. Here's my read. I don't think Brock would do that, but he does have an agent who seems to like want to assert himself in a big money deal. What if the agent has a different agenda than Brock? And the agent is like, no, we can't settle for anything less than what you're worth. I mean, Brock could be, aw shucks, I'll take whatever. But as long as that guy is employed by Brock, you got to wonder what Brock's true desires are.
Isn't Brock's agent almost in a similar situation to Brock? Right? Like
to
my knowledge, he doesn't have a ton of clientele where he's had a bunch of successful transactions. So like both of those guys are kind of in a position where it's like, we haven't made a ton of money. This is life-changing money for both of us. What are we going to do? Do you really think Brock and his agent are going to say, hey, let's push it out another year? Let's bet on you, Brock, that you're going to get 60 next year. Like you're going to hold out for an entire year with all of that risk for $11 million or $15 million more per year. I just think the Niners have a lot of leverage right now. If they want to use it, they can use hey, we're in a different situation financially now. We want to give you life-changing money. And if you don't like it, play out your contract, bud. If you really believe in yourself, let's see what you can do. But I don't think Brock Purdy's would want to do that.
Yeah, I mean, they could trade him. They just have said over and over, go on the record, we want him on the team as long as we're on the team. It'd be kind of tough to go back and trade him like a week later. But I still, they've also said stuff like, well, we want him here and there are mechanisms in place in the CBA to keep him. They didn't talk like that last year. So I think what I could expect is they make him an offer. It's kind of low. And if he doesn't like it, then maybe the Niners almost say, good. Like we just kind of wanted to offer you something and not ruin the relationship, but we're not that excited about extending you long term. We have questions about your elbow, questions about a lot of things. So cool, turn it down. Come on back, play out your contract. In the meantime, we're bringing in some better backups. And what's also interesting is, like, say he's kind of negotiating against Aaron Rodgers, against other vets who are out there. Like, you want X? Well, Rodgers would take X minus 15 million. So are you that much better than him? Or do you need to sort of take less? Because he would. That's interesting.
Yeah. I hope that's what they do. That's what I've been wanting them to do this entire time. That's what I've been saying they should do. So I hope they do that. But in that light, Brock Purdy should be smart enough to understand, okay, this is I better take this contract, because there's no guarantees that I even get near this size if I don't have a fantastic season next year. And I'm not going to have Brandon Ayuk. I'm not going to have Deebo Samuel. So I think Niners have a ton of leverage in this situation over Brock Purdy, and I think Brock Purdy should take the best contract he can get from them, even if that's now nowhere near 60, 65 million.
It just seems to me that this team was run the last few years, maybe I'm wrong, by Kyle and maybe Jed. And those are two guys who want to be liked. If I've ever seen two people who want to be liked, those are two people who want to be liked. And Kyle's giving out money to players like they're his friends. And if I'm right, and now this season is a little bit more under the control of Parag Marate, I don't think he gives two shits whether these players or anyone likes him. And if that's who's in control of this offseason, then Brock, hey man, I like you a lot. I do like you. And it's kind of messed up that there's a lot of college football, literally college quarterbacks making more money the last 3 years than you did because of this antiquated rookie wage scale. But just be prepared for what could happen this offseason and how Parag's going to come in with that initial lowball offer that everyone gets, and you may not get the second one the way everyone else gets, because the second one is Kyle overruling Parag. I think those days are over, Brock. Sorry.
Maybe like what Brock. They do is give them some like 40, 45 million, 49 million with incentives. And then, they give them an opportunity. Here's some incentives. You make the Super Bowl, you win the Super Bowl, those type of things. You throw 5,000 yards, you throw 30 touchdown type thing. That may be how you get it done.
What about this? What if instead of threatening to bring in Rodgers, who's 41, and the Niners just talked about being the oldest team in the league, what if they offer Brock an extension? He says, no, I don't want this. I'm going to play out my rookie deal. The Niners say, well, in that case, we need some stability at the position. We're trying to get younger. We're trying to get cheaper. We're going to trade you for a draft pick this year and draft a quarterback this year. Be kind of scary, but it seems like they've kind of gotten the green light from ownership to get younger anyway, get cheaper anyway. Hey, reset the clock on the quarterback position. You get 4 years in a rookie deal. Maybe the Yorks are open to that now in a way they wouldn't have been last year.
It's possible, but if I can get Brock for $1 million next year, I'm going to keep him, just because you got a good quarterback for $1 million. I think I would roll.
Well, what if you could get a first round pick for Brock right now? What if you get a top 10 pick for Brock right now? Something to think about, because maybe you might not be able to get that for him next year.
It depends on who your quarterback is, because you still need a quarterback, and there's no good quarterbacks really in this draft to me. So it depends on who you could get. Now, if you can bring in a really good quarterback like Aaron Rodgers for a year or two, with that move that you're talking about, and you bring in Devontae Adams combination, then that makes perfect sense. I would probably,
if they could get Cam Ward, I would be all about that. I like Cam Ward. I think he's really good. I think he's like Brock in the sense that they both have this supreme confidence about him, but Cam's he has a top 10 pick skill set that Brock doesn't have. God love Brock. At least he has the confidence. But I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Shadur Sanders has confidence too, but I don't know how good he's going to be.
I'm scared about letting the 49ers draft a quarterback because they haven't.
That's a great point.
Done well with that.
Yeah, and even if they did take Mac Jones like Kyle wanted, would that have been the right pick? No.